Earlier today here in Washington, the Holy Father delivered a historic address to Congress. The Pope called for action on behalf of immigrants, an end to the death penalty, and protection for human life at every stage of development. Wyatt Goolsbee was in the House chamber when the Holy Father spoke this morning. He joins us tonight with the story.
Brian, members of both parties greeted Pope Francis warmly this morning. It's the first time in American history a pope has addressed a joint meeting of Congress. And for those inside the House chamber, this speech was special.
Mr. Speaker, the Pope of the Holy See.
Pope Francis entered the House chamber to a standing ovation just before 10 a.m. Speaking in English, the Holy Father's 50-minute speech hit on a variety of topics, from the civil rights movement.
I am happy that America continues to be, for many, a land of dreams.
To the importance of embracing immigrants.
Most of us were once foreigners.
And even abortion.
And defend human life at every stage of its development.
Francis said he's concerned about the family and marriage, which is under threat in his view. Many lawmakers were moved by the Holy Father.
This wasn't a policy speech, it was a speech of a pastor, a speech from the voice of St. Peter, the Vicar of Christ.
So in some ways he does nudge us to be more open about things.
4 Supreme Court justices were present, as well as the Secretary of State, John Kerry. It was clear that Pope Francis struggled with pronouncing certain words in English, but his message was clear to an audience eager to listen. Brian?
Wyatt Goolsbee on Capitol Hill. Thank you, Wyatt. Nebraska Representative Jeff Fortenberry was there this morning. He's with us tonight. As a Catholic, what message did you hear from the Pope?
Well, first of all, when the Pope began his speech with America, land of the free and home of the brave.
It was a hit.
It was so endearing. It was magnanimous, it was warm, it was father-like. It also expressed an understanding of and depth of American values and traditions, which he laced throughout the speech. And I thought that was very uplifting and important for him to do, particularly since he's never been to America. So that touched me. I think it endeared him to the entire body, and it set the tone for the entire speech.
So as a Catholic, what does the message mean to you, and how will you carry it forward?
Well, the Pope is appropriately challenging all of us to enter into dialogue, even when there's been past injustices, rightful past or problems with people in the past between nations, to enter into dialogue for the possibility of hope and healing. And I realized that he was doing the same thing with us, entering into dialogue and challenging us as lawmakers to understand the nature of political and economic systems as they should lead to the well-being of persons and the dignity of all.
Did he convince Republicans and Democrats on the U.S. Congress and the Senate to enter into dialogue?
Well, for a day, the Congress hit the pause button and took a deep breath, and I think reflected on the higher things, the meaningful things, the lasting things, and the Pope himself, as the Vicar of Christ, the successor to St. Peter, by the dignity of his office, but also by the dignity of his own character, a man of the poor, a man who loves from the heart. He not only endears the public at large to himself, but I think he held Congress in his hand at the moment as well.
Representative Jeff Fortenberry, thank you for coming in tonight.
Pleasure to be with you.